welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. This is Prioritize. Here we discuss prioritizing faith, family, relationships, and more. I'm your crazy white, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. And oh my gosh, is this awkward? I'm telling you, I'm rubbing. You're not in the studio right now, and I'm not live on video anywhere just yet. We're working on that with the Patreon. This is so awkward for Toby. I had to get glasses recently. I didn't have to. Sorry, I chose to. There. Are you happy, John? I'm wearing glasses now. This is awkward. I have an extra thing on my face. I don't need all this stuff on my face. Okay, just the hair, and I'm good. No, I got the headphones. I got this extra set of spectacles that I'll probably wind up losing or breaking within the next month. I'm going on a week, and it's freaking me out, man. I have to like wear these things when I read. Why do I even have to read? Can I just memorize this stuff and move forward? This is not cool. This is not cool for me. I don't know how you guys do it. Much props to all the glasses wearers out there. I can do sunglasses, right? No problem. Because I'm protecting the eyes. It gets bright out every once in a while during the summertime in Indiana. For about 6 months out of the year, it's just sheer cloudy and gray. And you don't really need sunglasses. My eyes, here's the thing, okay? I used to have fantastic eyes. I still do. But they now I can't really see out of them. Like my wife will tell me one of the first things that drew her to me were my eyes. She said it was the holy trio. It was the rear, the eyes, and the sense of humor. And I'm not sure in what order that. Probably the eyes was first, and then the sense of humor, and then the rear. Like as I was walking away, got the sachet, moving the money maker. Which, I mean, truth be told, just between you and me, I haven't made a whole lot of money with my shaking my money maker. I had to move on from that. So here I am in the studio with glasses, and it's just awkward. And I'm trying to tell you, I have a new level of appreciation for all the eyeglass wearers out there. When I was a kid, I had good eyes, then they kind of went a little awkward. We went to the doctor, said, hey, you're going to need some glasses. So I tried glasses. First day, and I was like in elementary school. I came home with an envelope. Inside the envelope was my broken pair of glasses. My mom was none too happy. First off, she would say, don't break your glasses, you're going to catch pneumonia. I didn't catch pneumonia, but I think I caught a beating for bringing my glasses home in an envelope. So a few more pairs down the road, I'm in contacts, right? You got to stick the finger in the eye, not the needle. The finger goes in the eye, and you're putting the contacts in. And then I did that for, I don't know, a couple years. All of a sudden, boom, my eyes are really, really good. They're better than 20/20. I don't know what that would be. 19/19 vision? I don't know. Believe it or not, I'm not an eye doctor. So I didn't have to wear glasses or contacts anymore. And I was glasses free for 25 years or so. And now here I am wearing these, they're like readers. So you put them on and everything is close up. So you have to, because I'm farsighted. So I can read from really far away. In fact, I can read what you're thinking right now. Get to the stinking podcast. Is that, did I nail it? Did I nail it on that one? Hey, recently I went through the report, and I get this report. John sends me a report every so often. I went through this thing. This blew me away. I was so humbled. I just got to say, I was really, really humbled. Did you know we have listeners in Europe, Germany, Italy, and I'm thinking to myself, wow. Like, people are listening, and they're from another country. I got some stats here from there's people in the United States listening to the podcast, as I'm speaking. Isn't that crazy? I thought it was crazy. In Germany, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and Brazil. There's people listening to this in Brazil. How do the Brazilians relate to the Baker Boy himself? I don't know. Maybe there's more people out there with perfect... that can't be it. They can't have perfect hair. There's so few of us remaining. Maybe there is. And if there are, not is people. If there are, let's use some proper grammar, especially since we got folks out there which might have a slight grammatical barrier. Can I get an amen? Germany, South Africa, the United Kingdom, Brazil, Italy. It does me warm the colicles of me. And I would say it would warm the colicles of my heart. But I had those surgically removed about 3 years ago. I didn't know what I was doing with them. You know, it's like the spleen. What are you going to do with the spleen? Honestly, folks. So how many kidneys does a person need anyway? Liver? Do you really need it? Well, take that back. I guess we need a liver. Anyway, all that to say, thank you. Thank you for listening, for downloading, for taking some, hopefully this brings some kind of value to you. You know, like a break in the day where like there's so much crap going on in your day. You need something that says, hey, here's somebody who's more insane than I am. Okay. And I'm that guy. I'm the contrasting, I'm the juxtapose. When you contrast your well-being against my own, you feel better about yourself. I'll take that. I'll accept that. You know, in this world where it is so difficult to prioritize stuff because so much wants to steal our time, right? Do you remember back in the day they had there were glossy sheets of paper bound by, there's like a hard binding on the side. And they would send those to you in the mail. And you would get them once a month. And you would so look forward to like GQ. They called them magazines. And you'd flip through like, I can put that outfit together. I can put that outfit together. Just a few trips to the Goodwill, the Salvation Army, the local thrift stop. And boom, you had yourself an outfit that was exactly like, if not similar to, the GQ magazine. They called them magazines back then. I don't know if they're still around today, but there was magazines, there's news. I think there's 25-hour news cycles now. Nope, still 24. All right, I'm getting the 24 from the booth, and I'm getting a middle finger. I don't know why I'm getting that. You don't put that thing away, John. That's not nice. We can be nicer than that. We can raise our standard, okay? Man, these people around here, I tell you. Anyway, there's so many things stealing your attention, vying for your attention from email, text messages, TikTok, all the socials, all the news outlets. I just wanted to say thanks for spending a few minutes of your precious time with me. And I know what you're going to say because I wouldn't do this if I didn't have guns pointing at my head right now as we speak. Don't look at me. I'm not holding gun to me. But it kind of feels like it, okay? You're probably just as sick of hearing this as I am. Because every time I'm hearing it, I'm like, shut up. Just stop. But here's the deal. This is not going to help other people. It's just not. It's going to be you and me, and however in the world, bless you, you found it, you're listening to it, you downloaded it. If this brings value to you at all, can you do me a small favor? Can you do me a favor? You want to do a favor for me? You want to like this? Maybe share it? Maybe put a few comments down? Is this a lot to ask? You probably is, right? You're probably a very busy person. Normally, the 5 stars, that's what's appropriate. That's what I see a lot of the time is like the 5-star rating, like, comment, share, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't know. This is not fee-based just yet. I know they're working on the Patreon page. They've been working on it for a long time. Way too long. And then I was looking at it the other day. I'm thinking, I need to get someone else with this because I'm I don't have the confidence in me that I'm good at that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really confident that I can down a whole bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. High five. All right, air high five in the studio. That I can do. I have full confidence that I can do that. I just made tacos earlier. I can do that. Putting together Patreon subscription pages and making it so that people get value from that's a little tough for me. That's a tall order. I'm not going to lie to you. But at any rate, whatever you wind up doing, thanks for listening. And I've received some questions on this, like, are you ever going to talk about it? Yes, and today's the day. Our house is very old. We got a lot of years on this puppy. It's been good. It's been a pretty good thing. It was built back in the early 1900s. In fact, I'd have to look back at the deed. I think that's like 1902, something like that. I don't know. It's a long time ago. And with that, the dishwasher that we had broke down. Have you been to the Home Depot recently? You know, they got dishwashers there. For a few years, we went without a dishwasher. Our boys were practically our dishwashers, and they washed them by hand. And I gotta say, they were doing a really good job. But we really wanted to get a dishwasher in there and kind of bump ourselves into the 21st, 22nd century and be like, hey, let's get a dishwasher. So that one that we had that we replaced, we had it for like 10 plus years, and it was a fantastic dishwasher. So where do I don't like going to the retail stores like right off the back. I try to bargain hunt. Let's stretch every dollar that we can. So I'm looking on the Craigslist, I'm looking on the Facebook Marketplace, and lo and behold, boom, there's some scratch and dent dishwashers. I'm like, let's give this a shot, see what it's on. But first, I had to phone a friend, and I asked him, who's in the contracting business? I don't know how to install dishwashers, so I like to borrow brain. Can I hire you to install the dishwasher? He's like, sure, I can do that. It's going to be February before I can get over there. No problem. So my wife and I, we went over to this place. It was in a garage of a homeowner, and we're looking, there's tons of appliances in there. His deal was he was basically flipping appliances. So he would buy them very cheap, scratch and dent, falling off a truck. I'm not going to say which truck, and we'll leave it at that. And we're looking at this like, this dishwasher. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot wrong with it. There's a scratch here, there's a dent there. You plug it in, the thing still works. So we bought it. It's $175. It wasn't one of the, $3,000 dishwashers that it's just not in our budget. So we weren't going to spend that. Paid the cash, took it home, and then it sat in our garage through November, December, January, February. Here we go. It is time to get the dishwasher installed. I called up my buddy. Hey, can we get this thing installed? Going to be a few weeks. A few weeks later, it's going to be a few more weeks. A few weeks later, turns into like a year later on the dishwasher. That wasn't very good. Wife wasn't happy. I wasn't too happy. So somehow I'm talking with my next door neighbor about this thing, and he says, hey, let me take a look at that. Okay. He installed his own appliances, and he seems pretty handy. So we're talking to him and saying, no problem. So he comes over, gets it installed. We're running it, and it runs just fine. I was like, fantastic. We have ourselves a dishwasher. Lasted a week, and then the thing flooded somehow. It wouldn't drain. I thought, shoot. Are you kidding me? So I bring out the shop vac. I'm sucking all this water down, and we try it again. Same thing happens. The dishwasher floods. I'm looking up YouTube videos. I'm trying to do everything that I can. I'm unscrewing screws. I'm pulling things out. I'm putting them back in. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. So we lost $175 in like a year and a half of our time. I didn't want to go to the neighbor and like, hey, you know that job that you did? It sucked. It's not working. You ever felt like a failure? I mean, just an outright, you suck, you can't do this, what's the matter with you, failure. That was me. That was me. Weeks go by. We finally get somebody to take a look at it, and they determine that, yep, it's malfunctioning with the mechanism, a chip, something electronic. And at that point, we're basically screwed. So, okay, Joyce and I decide we're going to bite the bullet. My wife and I hop in a car. Actually, we went online first because we're going to replace this thing. We're going to get a dishwasher in here and get back to living life as civil people, because that's what civil people do. They have dishwashers, or they hire dishwashers, or they wash them by hand, or they just set them to the side and then reuse it. But we wanted to be the kind of the upper class civilians that have dishwashers and kind of live the life in the lap of luxury. So we went online with the interwebs. We looked at Menards and Penny's and Sears. And actually, by that time, Sears they were done in our area. They had gone out of business. So there was no more Sears. That wasn't really even an option for us. Tried a few other online places. We're looking at pricing. And I think, hey, can we price match or beat this price with like a local discount inside the Home Depot? Maybe we can. Let's go for a ride. Wife and I hop in the car. Off to the Home Depot we go. No, actually, where were we? I was on my way home. And neither one of us have the kind of the size vehicle that we would be able to pay for the dishwasher, transport it to our house, and then find somebody else to install it. We thought, well, how much does it cost to get it transported to our home? I stopped at the Home Depot on the way to our home, which is like 15 minutes away from us. And I'm talking with the guys like, yeah, we don't deliver to your area. And I thought, really? How do you not deliver to our area? We're 15 minutes away. So on a whim, Joyce and I are in Fort Wayne. We thought, why not try this one? Maybe it's different. I don't know. Maybe we can find some kind of workaround. There has to be a way to get a functioning dishwasher inside our home in 2023. Call me crazy, but I've seen working dishwashers in other people's homes in 2023. Just talking about it gets, do I sound angry? I'm not trying to sound angry, but I do feel angry. We're walking around the Home Depot. They had some sales inside the store. It's like store only sales or today only sales or whatever they call it. But we found one for less than $500. It was like $450 plus a delivery fee. And at that point, we're thinking, fine, tack on the delivery, because I don't know how else to get this sucker to our home in the same state, in the same year. And then the installation, but there was a discount for that day, so it kind of evened itself out. And we thought, fine, let's do it. If we're gonna, I guess, to like crawl through or squeeze through the hoops, because there's, believe it or not, puppies, did I just call you puppies? I'm terribly sorry. Believe it or not, gentlemen, there was no jumping through the hoops. You had to squeeze through. You had to use lube and grease, bacon grease. You had to I'm gonna get to the dishwasher. Okay, we're here. We have a dishwasher. We had a receipt in our hand. 3 weeks later, we were going to have that dishwasher. But here's the thing. And if you ever hear this from your wife, gentlemen. I'm trying to help you out. Honestly, this comes from the heart. On my way out, this thing happens. My wife, my model wife, my beautiful wife, and I love her so. She says, "Hey, honey." And I'm like, don't turn around. Don't do it. Don't turn around. It was like when we went down to Florida and Joyce is like, "I want to get a tattoo." So I'm like, "Okay, let's go get a tattoo. I guess you're going to get a tattoo." And she's sitting there and doing this. She gets a butterfly on her toe, and then she looks at me and says, "You're getting your tattoo as well." I go, "Okay, I guess I'm getting my tattoo." And while I'm in the chair getting the tattoo that I did, and maybe I should probably talk about that at some point. And then she says, "I'm getting 2 new earrings also." And I'm like, "Who are you? What has happened to my wife?" There's all these changes. She's like diving head first and is just inflicting all this pain on her. I don't know. She's like the Ravaged Joyce. You know what I'm saying? She's like Samurai Joyce or something. And then this with the whole new kitchen and bathroom, which I'm liking it. I'm like, yeah, I like this Joyce. She's hot. She's very, very hot to me. Don't do it, man. Don't turn around. But I had to turn around because she's behind me, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this is going to be good. She says something to the effect of, "What if we replace the kitchen floor?" Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, how do you turn down a model with just a simple request of, what if we looked at maybe replacing the floor in the kitchen? I thought, okay, that doesn't sound so bad. Here's the thing though, gentlemen, here's what that turned into. Replacing the floor in the kitchen turned into replacing the floor in the bathroom. And once you replace the floor, then come the cupboards and the kitchen countertop and the lighting and the ceiling tiles. Next thing I know, we're looking at the bathroom vanity to replace the bathroom vanity, the commode. We're replacing the bathroom toilet because we had a dishwasher. There's like, what if we replace the shower? Because we're already looking at replacing the commode and the vanity, and we're getting new bathroom and kitchen flooring, and we're looking at cupboards and a countertop, and I'm like, what has happened? We came in for a dishwasher. Do you remember, Joyce, honey? We just came in for a dishwasher. We're just going to wash some dishes. We're going to ease up on the dishwashing and just make life a little easier. And she's like, yeah, I know, but it would make such a big difference in the kitchen, and it would upscale the value of the home and and I don't know what happened. I don't know. We went in with a common goal. We had talked about the common goal ahead of time. It was we're looking to replace the dishwasher. That's all we want to do. Before I knew it, gentlemen, I was sitting at a desk with some I don't know, 35-year-old moron and some kind of weird coif in his hair and the dark glasses, and he's calling me, "Hey, boss," and like, what has transpired here? I don't understand. And he's speaking almost an entirely different language than what I was used to, and he's throwing around these millennial terms, and then I'm handed a receipt, and he's shaking my hand and thanking me for my business, and I'm like, I don't understand what has happened. But my wife was happy, and she had a big smile on her face. Fortunately for me, and God be praised, it's not tough to put a smile on the face of my lovely wife. It's really not. She's not hard to please. She's not picky. She's not a diva.
she doesn't walk around believing that she needs to up the carat in her ring and it's time for a new dress and shoes to match the dress or complement the dress or contrast the dress and the handbag, and let's go do a, I don't know, with the blowout. Do they still do a Brazilian blowout, or am I getting my beauty treatments mixed up? I know there's a Brazilian wax. I know what not because I've done it, not because let me get this clear. I want to be clear, okay? I've never done the Brazilian wax. I've heard about it. And this isn't one of the I can't dig myself out of this hole. Okay, never mind. Just forget I said anything, okay?
Too late.
I know. Just let's move on.
Should have said this earlier.
We get in the car. We're on our way home. We're all excited. We're getting a dishwasher in 3 weeks. We're counting down it's like 2.5 weeks. We're counting down the days. And the Monday rolls around when we are supposed to have our brand new dishwasher. Oh, we were so excited. We had the time frame. I'm getting the constant updates from the emails. And then I get an email from the Home Depot that said, we've rescheduled the delivery. And I'm texting my wife and I'm like, why did you reschedule the delivery? And she says, no. Was there a number that you were sent? And she gets on the horn. She's contacting the number and says, hey, what's happened here? We were supposed to get the dishwasher today. And they give her some story of, yeah, we tried to text you and we didn't get a response. And but we're going to, if Wednesday is good, we'll do it on Wednesday. And I didn't understand what had happened. So I'm on the phone with Home Depot saying, hey, buddy, what has happened with the delivery? And he's like, I don't know. We'll be certain to get this sorted out, Mr. Baker. I'm terribly sorry about this. And I'm like, hey, that's Mr. Baker to you. And he says, that's what I called you, Mr. Baker. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm joking. I'm a schmuck, but I wasn't that much of a schmuck. Okay. I'm kidding. I'm doing the jokey joke. You're a funny jokester. You should do stand-up. Funny you should say that. Don't even start. So I'm trying to be patient, right? I'm trying to be patient. We've waited a long time for this. We broke out the bills. We paid the cash. We went into the home. We did the whole buying thing at a retail box store. And depending on who you talk to, there's certain people that love the big box stores. There's others that absolutely hate it. At this point, I didn't care. I just wanted a working dishwasher in our home in the kitchen. Like, you got to specify where you want the dishwasher. Who's going to put it somewhere else? This way, the wife was going to be happy and I was going to be happy, and we could just, Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas and all the holidays that we host. We can take our dishes and put them in the dishwasher. We're done. We're moving on. We're enjoying the company and the family that we have and the visitors and all the things, right? So Wednesday rolls around and they're contacting. Joyce was the main contact because I don't even know if I was in the state at that time. I believe I was on either a project in Fort Wayne or in Ohio. And I was maintaining contact with Joyce just to make sure things were going smoothly. And she goes, yeah, they're coming. She takes off work. I remember this very distinctly. She had to put in for a half day off so that she could be at home for when they would arrive. Okay. So she's there waiting for them to arrive. They didn't arrive. They didn't show. And now I'm a little more unhappy. How do you say this? I'm a little more angry than I was before. And I call up the manager at the Home Depot because he's gave me his number. He's like, hey, I want to make sure this goes in nice and smooth. I said, thank you. I called him up. I don't know what's going on here. I'll give you the name, John Doe. We'll just say John Doe for now. Is that okay? I said, John, something's happened, man. My wife took half the day off to be at the house for them to be there. They didn't show. Right away. At least I think it's right away. He gets on the phone. He's calling up the subcontractors and making sure they're on what's going on here? Our customer is waiting. Well, according to them, they contacted my wife, which they didn't, to ensure that she would be there. And according to them, she didn't respond. And I thought, okay, this doesn't sound like the wife of my youth who took half a day off to be sure that she was going to be home for these people to arrive. If you're new to the program, first off, thank you for listening. I sure do appreciate it. Secondly, I'm not the most patient of individuals. That wasn't one of my spiritual gifts. I'm guessing by now, and maybe this is the reason it transpired this way. Maybe I'm supposed to learn patience. This is the wrong way to go about it. Okay? This is not happy times. We waited a long time. We're waiting even more of a long time. I don't like the waiting. I certainly don't like waiting longer of a long time. I don't know how many long times I could say long time in a sentence of long times, but that's enough. I'm waiting impatiently. And my anger grows with every subsequent phone call to the Home Depot, my wife, and the subcontractor, whoever it was. Suffice it to say, I am displeased with the Home Depot. I am thoroughly displeased with whomever this subcontractor is, as is my wife. And we'll look at ourselves like, I mean, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do? We've waited for a very long time. I said, let's wait until Friday. It's supposed to be coming on Friday. Or what was it, Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Sorry, it's been too long. This should have come out way sooner. So we said, okay, we'll wait. Friday comes, Friday goes. There's nobody. Joyce didn't hear from them. I didn't hear from them. And at this point, I'm beyond livid. You know, I remember when a VCR did not operate properly. Do you remember the times of the VCRs? We had a four-head hi-fi VCR. And just to give you an example of like what happens when my temper reaches a boiling point and then it goes through a breaking point. Do you remember the old cartoons of the thermometer when the boiling mercury would boil and then it burst out? So that's what happened when I had a four-head hi-fi VCR that has but one function, and that is to play video cassettes and to do so really, really well. That is the whole reason that they charge the extra dollars for the four-head hi-fi VCR, because they're supposed to function at a high functionality. That's not what hi-fi stands for. I get that. Ah, do you really? Are you sure? Shut up. Don't make me climb over this table. I'll do it. So sorry. You better be, okay? You got me going. I say nothing. Very good. So this hi-fi VCR decides it's going to start eating my Back to the Future tape. Oh, that was it. That was it right there. How dare you eat my original Back to the Future cassette tape? I reached for the closest weapon I could find, which happened to be a set of nunchucks. Don't ask me why they were there, okay? We used to have a cat. I reached for these nunchucks. Now, did I beat the cat with the nunchucks? Come on. I think by now you know me better than that. No, heavens to Betsy, no. I beat the nunchucks with the cat. Come on. Folks, let's get our priorities in order. I reached for those nunchucks, and that VCR didn't know what it had coming. It didn't even see it coming. I was so quick. Now, the bad part is I had to explain to my eldest son what happened to the hi-fi VCR when he arrived home from school. Dad, what happened to the VCR? Nothing. Why is it in pieces? I had to eat a little crow. I had to humble myself and explain to my son, your father lost his temper. The nunchucks were handy. And that's why the VCR is in pieces. Okay, so there. I'm not perfect. I just have perfect hair. That's the best I can do. I call up John Doe at the Home Depot, and I said, John, here's the scenario, man. We're at our wits' end. We've now waited 4 weeks for this dishwasher that was supposed to arrive a week and a half ago. And we keep getting told by this subcontractor that they've contacted my wife, who's now taken half a day off on Wednesday, half a day off on Friday. These people haven't shown up. What's going on? He says, you know what? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Baker. If you want to come in, I can refund, whatever you want to do. I'm very, very sorry about this. So I go into the Home Depot. It was just me, and I can't remember what Joyce was doing. Maybe she was there with me. I don't know. But I'm talking with John about it. Then I was very calm at this point, because this was like on Sunday or Monday the following week, and I'd since calmed down. I said, John, look, this is going to make for a fantastic story for my podcast. Now, it's not huge. I have a little less than 1 million listeners. I didn't know it was international. That's fantastic. That's so cool. I have a little less than 1 million listeners, and this is going to make for a really great story. However you want this story to end, it's in your hands. You know what's transpired by now. Here's what's going. I gave him the details that I've given to you. He says, Tobe, however you want to handle it. Let me refund this thing. Let's I'm willing to work with it. I says, okay. First off, I'm so displeased with this with the subcontractor, because we should have had this installed. He says, you're absolutely right. So I've heard much worse horror stories about the Home Depot. At this point, I'm getting a couple of breaths. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting some reprieve from this. I'm feeling like, okay, they're not fighting us on this. I said, yeah, I think what we want to do is we're gonna get the full refund. We're gonna take this. We still want a dishwasher. We just can't seem to get it from the Home Depot. He says, absolutely. Let me put this thing in motion. Can you give me the day? I said, no problem. Okay. I don't know where that came from, because, like I said to you, I'm not the most patient of individuals. He gives me a call later on that day. He says, hey, here's what Home Depot's going to do. And it's completely our fault. We're totally owning up to this. And I'm like, God, thank you. Thank you for understanding. How many customer service issues have you dealt with? And I'm talking to you. Listen in the car, on the podcast, listening in the shower. Do you ever listen to podcasts? I listen to podcasts all the time in the shower, right? Because you just shut the lights off, and you got that super hot water on, and it's blistering cold outside, and you're just, this is my own little sanctuary. And I don't know, maybe that's just me. Or maybe you're on the treadmill or the elliptical. Quite often I'm finding myself on the elliptical and I'm listening to podcasts. It's just a good time to think, right? I'll let my mind drift. How many times have you had that customer service issue where it has completely screwed your day? You're so done with this company, and all you want to do is get your money back and tell a few people about it and feel vindicated. And that's what I was looking for. And this guy kind of deflated all that. He said, hey, Mr. Baker, it is completely our fault. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for owning up to this. He said, here's what our higher-ups would like to do, the executives. He says, we want to fully refund you the dishwasher. We're going to, if you will allow us to, we'd like to install that very dishwasher that you were buying at our cost, okay? We want to give you back all the money. We're going to pay for the dishwasher. We're going to pay for it to be installed, if that's okay with you. And I'm like, all right. Here's a little bit of satisfaction. Okay, let's do this. That was a big deal to me. It was a big deal to Joyce, because I explained to him. I said, look, man, when we bought this dishwasher, my wife had fully plans because we're looking at flooring now against my own will, John. It was not something I'm like, yeah, let's replace everything in the kitchen and the bathroom. And while we're at it, why don't we look at stuff in the basement? Let's see what we can pizzazz. Not add pizzazz. Spick and span. Nope, not that either. Spick, span. Can we span up? Can we spit up? It's not spit up. What is that called? Where you spruce? That's what it is. That's what
You
it
are
is.
a moron.
I know. I just couldn't think of the words. Let's spruce some things up here, there, everywhere. I said, John, my wife is looking to replace the flooring, the cupboards, the countertop, the shower, the bath, the vanity, the toilet, the commode. We call it a commode. What do you call it? Is it okay if I say commode? Is that too upscale? Am I like condescending? If I just level up my vocabulary a little bit, I know I couldn't think of the word spruce, which is elementary. I couldn't think of that a couple of moments ago, and I'm like, of course we use the commode. We don't use the toilet in these parts. Actually, can I tell you this? We bought a bidet. Oh, I was so excited. We got a bidet. There's nothing like it. You got to try it. If you've never tried a bidet, you got to try a bidet. Okay, back to my story. I said, John, here's, we're looking at doing all this. And we were going to go with whatever store was going to be working with us, but we had so much trouble getting the dishwasher installed. He says, absolutely my fault. I apologize. We want to make this up to you. So, in lieu of that, we did, in fact, wind up getting the flooring and the commode and the vanity. We haven't pulled the trigger yet on the cupboards and the countertop in the shower, but I know that's just right around the corner. It's coming. There's some other things that rose in terms of priority, but I did want to give a shout out to the folks at the Home Depot for stepping up.